viewpoints expressed on The Edge are not necessarily those of this radio station, its staff, management, or other sponsors. It's time for the Edge Radio broadcast as we discover the truth together. Within the continental U.S., call toll-free 1-800-996-9638. Or locally here in Indiana, 359-5593. That's toll-free 1-800-996-9638. Or locally at 359-5593. You can find out more about our guests and topics by logging on to The Edge's website, theedgeam.com. That's theedgeam.com.
Thursdays on The Edge.
Hello, my name is Andy Radford and welcome to another Edge radio broadcast and television broadcast Thursday show from the Edge's UK studios. On the show this week, Edge listener Dr. Frederick Meekins has submitted his own audio entitled Huckabee's Fat Lip Yammering on About Your Gastronomic Business. We'll play this a little later. Also on the show, Edge correspondent Stuart Harrison submits a review on Jhershierra's book. Now, she was interviewed on Daniel Ott's live show a few weeks ago. This is Stuart's opinion, and you're entitled to agree or disagree in the Edges forum. All we are looking for is intellectual comment so we can discern the truth. And just a little later in the show, there is a special Edge report concerning the human rights abuses in Tibet meted out by China. We also look deeper into the history of human rights abuses in recent years, stemming from the Chinese regime. There is not many things that make me angry, but as you'll find out, something does in that presentation. If you agree or disagree with anything on the show, we would love to hear from you, and you can go to the Edges forum at theedgeam.com and state your vital opinion there. And we don't mind if you agree or disagree with the host or the guest. All we are looking for, as stated before, is intellectual comment from you, the listener and the viewer. Another way you can become involved with the Edge radio and television broadcast and its website is by becoming a voluntary Edge correspondent, and the advert for this will be played in the break, which is coming up shortly. You can try out and add to our new Edgepedia. We are trying to build a database of all the subjects the Edge covers. You can find a link to this on the Edge's homepage. Don't forget, the Thursday show is the show for the listener, and you can submit your audio, your written copy, a song or a prose. We will air them for you, and we will show them for you on the Edge radio and television broadcast. Now, under the main media player on the Edge's homepage, there is a link where you can contact us regarding this. You'll see it just under the correspondence link at www.theedgeam.com. Now, don't go away, because I'm going to be right back after this.
This is Frederick Meekins with the American Worldview Alert. Throughout his time in the public limelight, Republican Mike Huckabee has made obesity awareness one of his pet issues, having lost over 100 pounds himself. However, as is typical of most fanatics, having come to a realization or a cause a little later in the game than most, it is not enough for them to keep what they have learned to themselves, but now they are out to impose their new way of life to such an extent that they are willing to appeal to the mechanisms of the state in order to enforce their vision of reality. As part of an initiative to combat childhood obesity, as governor of Arkansas, Huckabee implemented directives where each public school student in that state would have their weight cataloged by operatives of the educational system. From this assessment, a document similar to a report card would be generated and sent out at about the same time as the more traditional scholastic evaluation. Those with their perceptions mired in what to them seemed more carefree times might respond, "What's the big deal?" Perhaps they should stop and reflect for a moment. As in the case of grades and such, once the state tabulates an individual's weight, it will become part of their permanent file and be used to track them for the rest of their lives. And don't go around thinking the number will simply remain just another harmless statistic tossed into a file folder with no additional reference made to it. In a FoxNews.com story posted June 13, 2004, titled, "Students to be Graded on Weight," the health coordinator is quoted as saying, "We're going to know how many are overweight, how many are underweight, how many are normal weight." It's bad enough for the government to have such information in its possession, but it gets even worse when it serves as the basis for the implementation of concrete policies. According to an article titled, "Arkansas's Battle Against Childhood Obesity Enters Its Second Year," posted on the website of the University of Arkansas for Medical Sciences, at schools with their disproportionate number of obese students, the